Hi guys, and welcome back to Life Unfiltered. It's been a beat, but this year has got, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this year has gotten off to a cracker of a start, right? I've been speaking to so many other people in corporate and moms around the soccer field, and it just feels like, where did our holiday go? Where exactly, dear sir, is December vibes? We would like to re-invite you back. I don't know, do you guys feel the same way? Have you been experiencing this insane acceleration in 2025? I'm blessed enough to work across multiple sectors and industries, and in every sector, when I'm speaking to leaders, the feedback is, what? Our hair is blowing back as we white knuckle cling to our seats with the sheer pace that 2025 has started with. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling slightly untethered and unsettled. My daughter's beyond just managing my own diary as a independent business owner, having to manage the diaries having to manage my time within the framework and diaries of my clients, and then having a 9-year-old who has decided to next level, and I'm talking about 10x her commitment to extracurricular activities. So sport has just gone, what? And she's just hit grade 4, right? So grade 4 is, we're senior primary now, guys. It is big girl panties. Straighten up that ponytail, girl. Let's hop on your unicorn and trot off into the sunset. Like, let's go. And the combination of those three things, and add on to the fact that I've taken an interim leadership role in our tourism section action teams, that is a bunch of humans committed to stimulating tourism in our city and working with the private sector and with the public sector to see what we can do to drive the beautiful Durban narrative forward. So that, heading up the Women Leaders Network cohort for the Upper Highway area, and our first event is coming on the 22nd, running with our Kingdom Initiatives, which is a marketplace ministry that meets monthly. And then for some reason, eventing has become a thing in my life, which I'm deeply grateful for. And we have our first big event of the year on Monday for a corporate, and I'm very excited about that. It's just all happened. It's Feb, guys. Please tell me that I am not alone this year, or at least at the start of this year. Feb is halfway through, so we can't even call it the start of the year anymore. Please tell me that I'm not alone. I promise, I've been feeling a little bit unhinged and a little bit untethered. The pace has been crazy. I don't believe anything is outside our capacity or our ability to do. So when we're given territory, we take it. It is just an adjustment. And I'm here for all of it. With that in mind, what I have realized for myself is the internal narrative, what I say about what's going on, has never been more important. Our theme for the year for the Women Leaders Network is unleash your thinking and amplify your impact, right? The reason I so desperately believe in that is because I have been coaching and training and encouraging and equipping individuals from all rungs of leadership in any department in an organization, and then just private individuals that I mentor. And it does not matter what the mandate is, what the ask is, whether it's a performance coaching conversation with a sales executive to identify where there are potential opportunities to maximize growth that you might not be seeing, whether it is a life coaching session and we're having to plan our way out of a dark space, whether it's skills training with frontline sales teams, customer care agents, the fundamental, and I've been doing this for years, right? The fundamental difference maker between someone that will be successful in life and someone that will not is the restlessness around taking control of your thinking. It is foundational. It underpins everything. I can equip you with any skill. I can equip you with the skills that I'm able to, with any skill. I can't teach you how to be a rocket scientist. I don't know. But I can equip you with the skills I'm able to. I can give you the plans that will map your journey from here to success. I can be your accountability partner. All of that stuff is chaff in the wind if we don't ferociously take control of our thinking. It's all for naught. It's all for naught. Everything is made or broken on our restlessness around controlling that inner narrative. There are so many quotes that speak to, what you think about, you bring about. If you constantly meditate on something, you manifest that in the external environment. That's not nothing. That is not nothing. The oldest collection of books is the Bible. And it holds such wisdom. Take captive every thought, transform, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, all of that means different things in different contexts, but foundationally, it speaks to taking control of this so that this can change. And it is in moments of pressure, like real pressure and real adjustment, that it becomes so much more vivid, so much more real for me. I'm in a season right now where I'm really recalibrating my pace. So whatever the pace was in 2024, 2025 is not that pace. This pace it's faster and it's harder. And as I go through the season of recalibration and assimilating to this new pace, I hope that's the right terminology, but adjusting to this new pace, right? I can sabotage this transitional phase that I'm in, or I can bolster my position. And it's all on the knife edge of what I constantly say to myself. So if I'm constantly going, I'm busy, I'm overwhelmed, I am rushing, if I'm constantly saying all of that stuff to myself, that is conditioning my way of being and my way of feeling. And if I start manifesting a under pressure, rushed, always busy persona, the world, the universe, my clients, my family, my friends will adjust to what I'm presenting. I hope you guys are following along, right? Because it's like really practical stuff. However, if I'm going through the same season and going, I am being equipped, I am taking new territory, I am in the training ground of a new season, if I'm saying that stuff to myself all the time, and and being, I've got this, girl, you are on track. If I'm saying that, then I am presenting the persona, like I manifest that in my being. It just sounds so fluffy and just existential when I say that, but it's when I am having those internal validations and I'm repeating that to myself, I live that out. We express what we think. We embody our thoughts. And so the universe will then respond. Our environment will respond with the affirmative. It will always respond with the affirmative. Like, wasn't it Henry Ford that said you can have any color as long as it's black, right? The universe is like, you are right. You are right. You can have whatever you think about, whatever you meditate about. And it's not, what was that? There was this trend a couple of years ago about like positive thinking. The Secret, wasn't it? It was The Secret, wasn't it? I think so. Just scroll there for a minute. But it's so, I think that there are some incredible truths in that, right? But it's not as out there, I suppose. But if you take control of how you speak about yourself and what you say, it's like being aware of what you think about, thinking about what you're thinking about, and then being very deliberate about how you are articulating the things that come up for you. And guys, the reason it says take captive every thought doesn't mean we're not going to think negatively. It means we consciously warfare against that kind of thinking. So there is, in The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma, he speaks about opposition thinking. And it's a strategy that he developed to combat, to contend for his thinking, the garden of his mind. That's the illustration he had. It was beautiful. And so when a negative emotion or a negative thought starts to arise, we are not helpless victims in the domain of our minds. We can take captive every thought. And a very cool trick or a very cool strategy is to apply opposition thinking. So I'm feeling so overwhelmed and so stressed right now. Like, I am in the space of exploration at this moment. I'm learning and growing as I go. That's very different. That's very different from I'm overwhelmed and busy and stressed, right? It's reframing the negative narrative into something that's life-giving and positive. And over time, you just take an example, right? Think about a bad situation and then think badly about the bad situation. How do you feel? How do you feel? Speak negatively to yourself. In fact, do the example, like get an idea in your mind or of a situation you've been in recently, a conversation you've had recently, a moment where you've felt a certain way. Now go and underpin that with negative self-talk. You're always busy. You're see, you can't cope. You're not equipped to do this. Like your life is falling apart. I don't know. And then see how you feel after you've done that for 5 minutes. You feel awful and tired and give me the menorah blade, right? If you take that same idea, example, situation, take that same thing. Now go and reframe it with life-giving narrative. Speak life about yourself. Speak life into that situation. Do that for 5 minutes. And then how do you feel? That's the smallest, quickest little litmus test. That's your MVP right there to see whether or not this is something you want to do in 2025. I am not here sharing this with you from an academic point of view. It has been my lived experience. One day we will sit and have a conversation and I will share more of my personal testimony and journey with you guys. But when I say that being unapologetic about owning my mind set and my thinking has gotten me out of the darkest valleys, and it has breathed into life this beautiful life that I get to live now. And I can't wait to see where it will take me in the next decade. So it's not from an academic, oh, I think this is a great idea. This is it's coming from a deeply entrenched way of being. And I know that the more people who choose to invest the sweat equity into really being so deliberate about curating the right narrative for their mindsets, it will unequivocally, absolutely transform your life. It will. There's no way that it won't. My life is an example. I am a single mom who started a business just before COVID, consulting, for goodness sake, consulting. It's not like I'm selling oranges that you need, right? Well, don't need my clients hear you say that. I am your orange. But it's consulting. It's such a nice to have thing. And the underpinning thing in everything I say is God is my CEO. He is my leader. I don't say that flippantly. I believe that 100,000%. So I absolutely believe that my Father has provided for me. My contribution has been being fearlessly protective over the way that I think, and very, very deliberate about what I want to think about. Like, who is the person, if I meet her in 10 years from now, if I meet the future me in 10 years from now, what does she look like? What does she sound like? What is she doing? What does she have? Who is she loving? What is her mission? What is her calling? How is she spending her days? When I spend time thinking about her, I kind of get the idea of, I start to unpack the things that she thinks about and says about herself. And because I know that I will meet her in the future, I take captive those thoughts, or I contend for that way of thinking today, because it's the investment into my thinking today that will manifest that life in 10 years from now. I wish there was a way that I could illustrate it more vividly for you guys. The more people that catch this, the more we can train our kids. Spend time in meditation and prayer. Like, spend time visioneering and reflecting and laying out in your mind. Wasn't it Brian Colby, I think? He's a basketballer. Guys, I might have this wrong, but he's a basketballer. And he visualized every shot that went in, physically visualized every shot that went in first. Who's the tall guy in basketball as well? The really tall guy, Michael Jordan. It's Michael Jordan. He is such an advocate for mentally playing the game first, and then play it visually, play it out in your head, sit and meditate on the game before actually playing the game, because all life is won in your mind first. Here, you win and lose everything in life here first. And so I can't, and you know how you know? Do you know how you know when you've won here? Is when the language that comes out of you naturally speaks about setting you up for success. It's in your favor all the time. So you can do a bit of a self-audit and go, what is my default language when I'm in a situation, especially when I'm in a negative situation? Chris Vallotton, guys, he speaks about expecting in terrible situations the best to be working out for you. So if your kid is home late from school, any mom, automatically their stomach goes in a knot and they think the worst. We naturally tend to go to the worst thing. But we remember our minds are malleable. Neuroscience has now told us that we can actually create new neural pathways based on what we meditate on and what we do habitually. And so when you start training yourself that in those tense, potentially tense situations, you expect good, you will get more of that over time. Your life, barring absolute circumstances, but how many times has someone not phoned you back, or your kids come home late, or someone else has been late in responding to your email or whatever, and you've gone to the worst thing. You've gone to the very worst thing in your mind. You've gone to the very worst thing. You're in a knot, you want to vomit, you have been playing, do something wrong. And 99.99999% of the time, what you've imagined isn't the case. It's not real. It's in your head. But you're creating this world for yourself of anxiety all the time. I'm speaking from a place of experience here. Like, I get it. But we don't have to be there. We don't have to live like that. The level of joy, the level of peace, all of that stuff, right? The good stuff in life starts here first. When we take captive every thought and we transform our thinking, and we think and meditate and sit and ruminate on the things that are good. You do that consistently enough for long enough, and your life will reflect the quality of your mind and the quality of your mindset more, I think. It's such a powerful strategy for unlocking an extraordinary life. We need to live it, and we need to teach our kids, right? That they are not the products of their mind, but that they can use their mind as a tool to create the life that they want. I think that's gold. That's gold. Go read Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. It's a bit of a rough read in terms of an existential book, and he speaks, there's a lot of stuff that's really rough to, like, when it's like reading Jordan Peterson's Mind Maps. It is a highly academic book, so it's really rough to kind of get through those proper indigestible chapters. But there, if you can maybe get the Blink or listen to the audio version, it's all about you can unlock the sweetness of life in, I want to say, an instant, by being courageous enough and having the grit, because it does take work, guys. It takes so much energy to be the one person that's accountable for the way you speak to yourself and about your life to you. And so do the little litmus test. When you're in a tense situation, when you're in a sticky situation, when your emotions are trying to tell you what's actually going on, what naturally comes out of your mouth about your life or about yourself? That's the stuff that you are constantly saying to yourself inside. And so you create an environment where that becomes true for you. That becomes true. The universe will affirm your thoughts. Like, what you think about, you bring about, because it's who you become. You posture to validate your thinking. Your body, your person, the you that is you, postures to validate your thinking. Now, if you're thinking negatively all the time, your life will reflect that. If you are precious about how you think about yourself, how you speak about yourself to yourself, your life will start to reflect the quality of that in a relationship. Do the litmus test. See what you naturally say. Then play out a negative situation and be negative and think negative. And then take that same negative situation and reframe it and speak life over it. Do that for 5 minutes each time, and you tell me which one makes you feel better. And if you feel better more often than you feel bad, what do you think you can do with your life? I'm so passionate about this stuff, guys. It is the foundation to success. Mindset is the foundation to success. What we say about ourselves is the foundation to success. how we speak about our lives, how we speak about, you know, the beliefs that we are constantly playing on autopilot. Take that stuff. Or I'm not mathematically inclined. I'll always just be a little bit fat. Or I can't speak to people. I don't know how to land a strategy. All that kind of stuff. Those are these dumb beliefs that someone, or, you know, we somewhere along the line put into our hearts, and we play them on autopilot. Nonsense. You get to choose. We get to choose. You can't. It's not just the way you are. No, it's not just the way life is. No. We get to contend, but first we have to choose. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. 2025, hello, you beauty. It's been off to a cracker start. I can't wait to see what the year brings as we journey along. Let me know. Am I the only one in this incredibly fast-paced space right now? I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm here for all of it though. It's yes please, more. Thank you. Okay guys, till next time, bye.